So a quick demonstration video today showing how the new export function for lap telemetry of race centre data can be used to get a deeper insight into areas to improve your driving. So for example, I'm looking at October 2019 hot lap competition, which was Suzuka. Nick Hill won that month with a 1:36.4. Scott Atkins just behind with a 1:36.7. If I look at the telemetry that we're already familiar with, look at the delta T, we can see that Scott was ahead for the bulk of the lap, but something happened on the final corner. Very quickly, we can see that Scott went down into first gear, whereas Nick stayed in second, but we don't know why. Using the new function, if I use these new download buttons here, I'm going to export Nick's lap, and I'm also going to export Scott's lap. So they're downloaded in the usual Windows way. They're now in the download file folder. These are .vbo files, and I have associated these with Circuit Tools, which I've downloaded. The details for that are in the Race Centre's news story. Let me just open the first lap. So that's loading Circuit Tools. And let's drag and drop in the second lap. Select and drag that in. We now have both laps. Let's maximize Circuit Tools. So we see the two laps here, the 36.4 and the 36.8. Let's bring in some additional channels. We've got the delta T graph here. I'm also going to select accelerator, brake, and let's have the steering. You'll see there's a whole load more channels which we've been logging, but to date you've not had the ability to view. You can now view those additional channels as well. So we have all the different channels on display here. The bit we're interested in is the end of the lap. So I'm just going to select this part of the lap. We've now got the detail on that. And if we move the timeline to the beginning of that, we can see here on the circuit diagram, and in fact let's zoom in there. We can see coming into this final complex that Scott was ahead with the blue cross. If we just advance that, we see as he comes into the corner that Nick hit the brakes that little bit later. Let's back that up a bit. We see that Nick hit the brakes just that little bit later and more convincingly. And advancing forward again. As a result of that, he had the weight on the front wheels, was able to get a sharp turn in, hitting that first apex where Scott ran a little bit wide, which then gave him a better track position to be able to get a good left-hand exit and get the power down that little bit more smoothly. And we see the consequences of that with the red cross, i.e. Nick coming out of that bend with that much more momentum and crossing the line with a faster lap. So there you go, just one example of how you can use the new export function to get a deeper insight to your laps. For the Race Centre, your lap data from August 2018 onwards, you can go and download Circuit Tools and have a play with any of your laps from the last couple of years using this today. So have a play, let us know what you think, look forward to hearing from you.